This is the story of a trembling rescue pup and how they became a happy, confident dog. With the help of a silly hat and a cozy blanket. This is Myko's story.
My husband and I had always wanted to rescue a puppy, but we were waiting for the right time. In late 2018, soon after we had to say goodbye to one of our beloved rescue cats, I felt really inspired to hop online and look for puppies that might be in need of a good home. Suddenly, I found a photo and a brief description of Myko, who was about 3 months old at the time. The description said he had been rescued from a high-kill shelter in South Carolina, and that prior to being at the shelter, there had been some kind of neglect. When we saw photos of him, it was kind of like love at first sight. It's the moment that's really hard to describe. He had this sweet little face just staring back at us on the screen with enormous brown eyes, and it just spoke to us. We knew that we had to rescue him. Myko's quiet ears are actually of our own invention. We came up with the phrase quiet ears. The story behind it is kind of funny. So one night, I guess about 2 years ago, after nearly a half an hour of barking at our cat's reflection in the patio window, we had tried everything to redirect him. We tried playing and high-value treats and rewards, but nothing worked. So we had read about how clothing that's form-fitting, sort of like a thunder jacket or pressure around dogs' ears, can be really calming for when they're in a high state of arousal. So we had remembered we purchased this old Halloween costume for him a few months back. So we pulled out the droopy ears portion of it and we just put it on just to see what happened. And he became instantly calm and really quiet. He seemed to like them and they helped right away. So we left them on and he just stayed quiet. And since then, we just came up with the phrase quiet ears. And so whenever we remind him, hey, do you need your quiet ears? He will settle down. Sometimes we don't actually even have to put them on. We just tell him. We get a lot of questions about Myko's blue blankie and how it came to be. The easiest thing to say is that he chose it for himself. We did not choose it for him. We kind of gave it to him a few months after we rescued him. Basically what happened is that it used to be one of our throw blankets that we kept in our living room. And even though Myko had tons of his own things, including a little baby blanket we gave him the day that he came home, he would frequently pull out this particular blanket off the furniture and drag it around the house, and that's when we realized he really seemed to like it. The connection was definitely instant. We have guessed that this may be because it was ours and we had used it for a while. It probably really smelled like us, which may have been comforting to him. We'd also just like people to know that we started Myko's account to really spread awareness about how wonderful rescue dogs are, as well as just how special Myko himself is. But the best advice we can give to people out there about rescuing is that they require a lot of extra love, attention, and patience. It can be a really slow road, but the smallest milestones need to be praised and celebrated. You sometimes have to get really creative, like we have with his quiet ears and with Blue Blankie. It's our experience, though, that with time and compassion, it's one of the most rewarding bonds that you'll ever have. It was as if everything in the universe aligned and had brought us to the exact pup we had been waiting for. So we just knew that we had to take him home. Myko has an enormous, huge personality. He has a ton of feelings. He's really sensitive. He appears to feel things in a way that you would kind of expect humans to. In addition to all that, he's offered us such tremendous and unconditional love. He greets us each day with the same exuberance when we first met him. His curly tail is always wagging. We're hoping that, sharing him with the world continues to offer, people a sense of what it's like to have a rescue pet, and that people will feel the warmth and love that they can give you and that they're inspired by his story.